this country on his own is a cruise on its own, you know, and we're going to be also addressing mental health issues as you know as this workshop progresses. Like I said, it's going to be every Friday in May. So help me God. Every Friday in May, we're going to be having speakers. These speakers are so ready for us, very credible speakers. They know the onions, they know the value of parenting, what parenting does for us. So keep it coming. More and more people are joining. Well done. You know, let's not start without them. So perhaps what we can do is, first of all, go around and introduce ourselves. But I'll be listening, but I'll mute myself so I can go attend to some things and come back. But you can start introducing yourself. Just unmute your mic. You say your name, where you live. Let's know where you're tuning in from. It's important for us to know where we're tuning in from. You know, you just unmute your mic. Maybe I'll do a roll call. Just say, hi, my name is this. If you have a nickname, AKA this, I'm tuning in from Zambia, or I'm tuning in from Kenya, or I'm tuning in from wherever you are, that beautiful city that you're in. So I'm going to be starting with the first person on my, I think this thing is alphabetical, if I'm correct. Okay, no, it's not. Oh, okay. So I'm going to be starting with Cheesy. Hello, Cheesy. Unmute yourself and tell us where you're from. Your name, if you have a nickname, and where you live.
Hi, me and Cheesy. I'm from Owerri, Imo State.
Oh, awesome. Fantastic. Welcome. Yeah. The next person I can see on this call is Franca. Hello, Franca. You're welcome. So when you finish speaking, you can mute yourself back. If Franca is not there, we can skip to go to Anne.
I'm here. Good evening.
Okay. Good evening.
Good evening. I'm calling from, I'm joining in from Maryland, Lagos.
And what's your name now?
Okay, I said my name is Franca Okonkwo. I'm joining in from Maryland, Lagos.
You don't have AKA.
AKA or Mama.
Oh, Mama.
Yes, that's what my husband calls me.
Beautiful lady. Wow. Okay. Nice to meet you. And
same here.
Yes, good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Yes, I'm joining in from Abuja.
Ooh.
Thank you.
Yes. You did not give us your AKA. What's your nickname?
I don't have anything in mind yet. I'll think about that now that you were saying
it. Okay. All right.
Thank
Martha.
you. All right.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. Martha. Okay. My apologies. Okay, Ada Zion. The screen name, Ada Zion. Introduce yourself.
Good evening, Ma. Good evening, everyone. I'm Anabaranya Daisy.
Is it me? Okay.
Imo State. My nickname is Ada Zion.
Okay. Nice to meet you. So, Ndidi.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
My name is Ndidi Amaka. I'm tuning in from Lagos, Atomediya
Patience.
I'm Opuloka.
Okuloka. Ooh, we have a lot of Igbos. Interesting. Okay. I can see Patience. Patience, introduce yourself.
Hello, my name is Patience. I'm tuning in from Lagos.
Okay. All right. Don't you have a nickname?
I don't think so.
Really? Okay. Okay. Becky,
Yes.
nice to meet you, Patience.
Good evening, everyone.
Thank you, Ma.
Yeah. Good evening, Becky.
Okay, my name is Rebecca Fellow Aja. You can call me Becky for short. I'm joining in from Abuja.
And Becky Licious as well, right?
Yes.
Okay, Roro, over to you. Nice to meet you, Becky.
Thank you.
Rhoda, are you there? Over to you.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening,
Hello.
everyone. My name is Rhoda.
Hi, Rhoda.
Hi.
What's your nickname?
My nickname.
Where are you tuning in?
I'm tuning in from Abuja, and my nickname, Ro Baby, I guess.
Ro Baby. Nice to meet you, Ro Baby. Okay,
Nice to meet you all too.
Nonce G. If I'm correct, Grace, please introduce yourself.
Okay. Hello, everybody. Good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Grace Mponga. I'm tuning in from Abuja. My nickname is Nonce G.
Nonce G. Oh, I got it now. Nonce G. Man, Abuja is rapping, no. Next person, Chiamaka.
Yes, so Abuja.
Go Abuja. Chiamaka.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Aka. Tuning in from Abuja.
Ooh, Abuja again. Abuja is rapping. What's your nickname?
Wanyoma.
Wanyoma. Okay, Wanyoma, nice to meet you. Okay, Gloria. Hi.
Hi, good evening, everyone. My name is Gloria Efwa, aka Efwalicious.
Efwalicious. Wow. Where are you tuning in from?
Momty Flozon from Abuja.
Ooh, nice to meet you, Flozon.
Thank you.
Okay, next person, Jude. Okay. Are you there? Okay.
Yes, ma. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening. Good evening.
My name is Judo Gechi. I'm tuning in from Imo State, Owerri precisely.
Oh, fantastic. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet
Thank
you.
you, ma. Thank
okay, Uju, go ahead. Is Uju there or we skip?
Hello. I'm still working on my way. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I'm Ujunwa from Lagos.
Oh, nice to meet you. What's your nickname?
Hey, Ujunwa baby.
Ujunwa baby.
Yes,
all these nicknames are so. Okay. So I think this is the second man on the call. Hi, Oyekuru. How are you doing?
I'm fine.
Okay, where are you tuning in from? Nice to hear from you.
Lagos.
Okay, nice to hear from you. What's your nickname?
Happy to be here. Just call me Kuro or Douglas, anyone. Yeah. It's not a nickname, it's just sort of kind.
Okay, nice to meet you, Kuro. Okay, so last but not the least is Chineye. Chineye, please tell us where you're calling from.
Hello, everybody. My name is
Hi.
Kenya. I'm
What's your
calling in from Enugu. My nickname? Okay, just call me Ne. That's fine.
Okay. Nice to meet you, Neye. Wow, it's so
Same
awesome
here.
to know where everyone is tuning in from. I'm sure a lot of people on this call know my name, but my name is Diane Kalu. I'm tuning in from Lagos. A brief introduction about WiCare. WiCare, okay, I'm the founder of WiCare Lekota Foundation, a very trusted resource for young widows, and we empower, we educate, we rehabilitate young widows and their children so they can remain valuable in the society rather than being treated as object of needs. As you all know, when you say you're widowed in the society, they look at you like you're disadvantaged. But we're here to change that narrative, to break the stereotypes and break loose and tell widows that they can do more. They can, just because you're widowed does not mean that it's the end of your life. You can move forward. You can do all that you want to do. Our facilitators are on the call, so you can just welcome them in the comment section. And I'll also talk about why this parenting is so important. Why is this workshop so important? Beyond myself being a single parent, look around you in our society. Most of us are parents just because we gave birth to our children, or we assume that because we gave birth to our children, we are qualified parents, and certain things have been passed down from our parents to us, which are toxic and negative, and it has affected the society in so many ways. I often say that family is the bedrock of any society. If the family unit, which God loves so much, gets it right, then the society will be a better person. The armed robber out on the streets, somebody gave birth to him. The murderer, the people committing all the atrocities, people gave birth to them. So what happened? This workshop is to open our minds for us to be better parents, for us to learn from here. So imagine what happens to you when you leave this workshop at the end of May and you have a renewed thinking. Guess what? You pass it on to your children. When you pass it on to your children, guess what? It becomes a generational trend. So please tell yourself that, write it in the comment section. I am an ancestor that will break the cycle. Write it in the comment section. I am an ancestor that will break the cycle. It doesn't matter whether or not you're a single parent or not. Parenting skills are parenting skills. You just have to learn to garner it. And I'm praying and I'm trusting God that, from this workshop, that every one of us, even if you're not yet a parent on this call, you are going to learn something that would shift your mindset, not just for your, in the area of parenting, but in other areas of your life. You become more aware and alert. Okay, so enough of seeing me and talking too much. We'll just go right ahead into what we have today. And we're going to be doing that with a short prayer. So please, let's pray. Father, we thank you for today. Thank you for giving us the ability to gather here. Thank you for the breath of life. We do not take it for granted. Thank you for your angels, ministering angels that have been sent on assignments over us. Lord, as we commence this workshop, come and have your way. Help us. Let our hearts be receptive to the words that will come from our facilitators. Speak through our facilitators to us. Address issues, break chains, break cycles, break addictions, demystify everything that is wrong in this space. Lord, let this become a clinic, a healing portal. In the name of Jesus, we cover everything we're going to do with the blood of Jesus. In Jesus' name we have prayed. Amen. Amen. And so with without further ado, I would be welcoming our first speaker. Unfortunately, I would have liked to read out her okay, hold on. I couldn't connect with my laptop, so I'm using my phone to screen to host the meeting. So let me try to see if I can get her profile out. Okay, yes. So this is our speaker coming up next. Dr. Ifeoma Samuel is your down-to-earth Bible study writer and speaker who is passionate about teaching and helping women find true joy in everyday life. Dr. Samuel enjoys encouraging women to go deeper in search of God's truth for their lives through many conferences, books, videos, articles scattered all over the web. She's sharing her story of inspiration and faith. Dr. Samuel is happily married to Obiora, and together they are blessed with 2 children. You can find her Bible study and devotional books for women and resources for children on her blog. Yes, you're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. Good evening, everybody.
Yes.
So why didn't you ask me my own nickname now?
No, because I wanted it, I wanted it to come at this time. So tell us, what's your own nickname?
Ify. I think everybody born that. I don't know. I don't think I have anyone then. So it's Ify.
Okay, so good to see you. I'll just
thank you.
Be out of your hair right now, and you have the floor. We're so excited to hear from you.
Thank you
without
so much.
a doubt, we know that you're going to, shift some things in us. We need to learn and unlearn. That's what we say in WiCare. Learn and unlearn. And
then we learn.
Thank you again. Thank you. So I'll be out of your hair. I'll be muting myself and putting off my video. But if you need my attention, I'm right here.
Okay, that's fine. Good evening, everybody. My name is Mrs. Samuel. I'm sure you'll be wondering, why is she qualified, or why should she be talking to us? It's not about reading portfolios. So I rather go with that simple one that does not really say much if you're into public health, or if you're into mental health, or if you're working with children, or if you are being a coach. So that simple one allows me to connect and still be relatable. It's exciting being here. I must say thank you to WiCare. Thank you to Mrs. Diane. I'm excited and I'm grateful that you believe I'm able to address certain issues. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you too, and you're all welcome. So a quick one, let's quickly get to our chat. I like an interactive session. It shows that I'm a teacher to the core. So let's get to the chat. Give me one word that you would say, that you would use to define parenting. What's your one word for parenting? If you are given that task to think through and say, okay, this is my one word for parenting, what would that be? Let's see. I will encourage you to be interactive, because you never can say. She didn't say I am an author of several books, and I'm also into launching a course. I'm about to launch a course that has to do with parenting. So you may just be lucky, and you may be chatty enough to win something. So that should motivate us. Get to the chat box. I am also going to be on the lookout. Miss Diane, please do me a favor. At some point, you may need to read out everybody's chat. So please, let's get to the chat. One word for your parenting. One word. What one word would you use to describe parenting? Let's make it fast. Quickly get to the chat box. That will make our class really interesting. Okay, thank you. Thank you, I got that. Rhoda says nurturing. Thank you, I love that word, nurturing. So I'm here with my own book too. So I'm going to be writing some of all those ideas. Interesting, nursing, beautiful. Let's keep them coming. There are about 15 of us, aside from the other speakers. Let's go, let's go, let's go. So we have 3, ancestor that will break a cycle. Thank you. So is parenting ancestor or breaking a cycle? What would we call parenting then? Okay, I'm waiting for us in the chat box. Only 3 people have given a response. I love the words nurturing, nurturing, nursing, interesting. Okay, so ladies, please, thank you. Caregivers, lovely, lovely. I'm writing down your own answers because from your answers, we are going to develop some form of caring. Thank you. Some form of a map. So I will encourage you to get your book because at some point I'll tell you to refer back to all the things you've said. Childbearing, child rearing. Okay, I love that, child rearing. Okay, I'm writing it down. Please take note of what you have said in this question. Okay, so we have caregivers. We have nursing, teaching, lovely. We have interesting. We have nurturing. We have loving. Okay, keep them coming. I'll give us a few seconds before we close that task. If you have one word to represent or to describe parenting, what would that be? Okay. Sorry?
Assisting.
Culture. Assisting, beautiful. I like that answer. I'm writing assisting. I'm writing culturing down. Please turn on your mic. You may speak. Grooming. I love that. Please speak.
Guiding.
Guiding. Thank you. Well taken. I've written grooming. I've written. I hope I didn't miss anything so far. Let's see. If your hand is up, you may turn on your mic and speak, please. Culturing. Yeah. Good. Now I'm sure something must have prompted all these answers that we have provided. There's something about parenting that must have said, okay, you know what, parenting is about caring. Somebody else says, oh, parenting is about child rearing. Somebody will say, oh, it's about child raising. Another person, oh, I have to pour everything I have. Oh, parenting is draining. For some people, that is their experience about parenting. They see themselves as giving and giving, and most moms feel that parenting is sacrificial. Do you agree? Is parenting sacrificial? Support. Thank you for that one word. For some people, parenting is draining. For some people, parenting is, you know what, I stopped my life and I'm giving my life over to my children. That is their own experience. We won't say they are all wrong. No, everybody is right because it depends on where you are looking at parenting from. So what then is parenting? All these answers, do you notice something about all these answers we've given? Let's quickly get to the chat box, everybody. I wrote your answers down so I'm able to look through. Now, every answer that we have given, there's something that connects everything together. There's something that connects everything together. In English, they will tell you is it has to do with being an action word. Did you notice? Check the chat box right now. Every of this you have written involves activity. It involves something that has to do. They always tell us that a verb is an action word. Okay, you are in action. It's a progress. It's something that you have to do. You have to act it out. Some people will say parenting is about loving, right? That's correct. So it's an action word. It's an activity. You can't say you're a parent and you're dormant. You can't say you're a parent and you're sitting on the side. That's a given. So all the words we've said, all are one words to describe. Okay, Chizzy, you want to say something? Oh, okay. Your mic came on. All right. So everything that we have said is correct. Now, how do we bring this home? Now, for us to actually achieve all the things we have said, parenting for me, I'm going to come from a different perspective. Parenting is a project. Parenting is a project. We all said very beautiful ideas. But if you don't know the end from the beginning, how do you build? For me, parenting is like you're building a house. Raising children is not a random thing. It's not something you just wake up and decide to do. It's something that you have to plan towards. Okay, but now you have a child in your life. Now that you find yourself in this one, you're winging it. You're being the only one winging it for the single moms around in this group. What makes it hard is when we think that parenting is a task, is heavy load, is hard. When we think that it is responsibility, it is another to-do list. Many of us have to-do lists, right? We mark and we check our to-do list. But parenting is more than a to-do list. Parenting is a project. Think about you building a house. Each of those children that God has given us are their lives. We can't be random about it. If we take so much intention, we plan, we save, towards building a house, then how much more building a life? Let's think about it for once. If it takes so much for us to build a house, don't you think we require more intentionality? Okay, we require more planning. We require to think it through when we are building a child's life. I want us to think about it and and kind of ponder on what I'm talking about now. Parenting is a project. For every project, there has to be a plan. And for every plan, there has to be an outcome. Now, I want to send us again back to the chat box. What is your one goal, your number one goal in parenting? Now that you're raising one child, two children, three children, four children, as the case may be, do you have a goal? Do you have a goal? Do you have one thing that you are, like if they ask you, all these your kids that you're raising right now, what is your purpose? What is your goal? Why? Please don't say, oh, I'm caring for them. Just, I want you to think deeply and give me an answer. Let's go to the chat box again quickly. What is your one goal? Your one goal as a parent. What's your one goal? Now that you're a mom, you're a dad, what's your one goal as a parent? Can we please set the chat box on fire? I'm looking forward to seeing our answers. It doesn't have to be perfect. We are all here to learn. What's your one goal? Thank you. To raise successful, well-balanced adults. I love that. That is good. Successful, I'm writing now, and well-balanced. Please come up with your own. Let's go. Let's set the chat box on fire. Raising godly children. Thank you. God-fearing. Thank you. Okay, more answers, please. I'm waiting for us. You may speak if you are not unable to type. You may turn on your mic and speak. Responsible children. Okay. I'll take 4 more answers before we move on. Let's go quickly. Raising godly children. Okay, thank you. Right. I need 3 more answers, and then great and responsible children. Thank you. Right. 2 more answers, then we move to the next part of this conversation. 2 more answers, please. Interaction allows you to think. And then when we all share our ideas, thank you. To raise children who are responsible, independent, and well-balanced. Thank you. When you share your ideas, it will allow you to think deeply and say, oh, I can learn from this person, It will help you to think, okay, to raise children who will break the norm. Okay, break the norm. All right. I'm going to the chat box. I think we need 1 more person, isn't it? 1 more person to raise exemplary and purpose-driven children who influence their world positively. Now, ladies, now go back to, I need you to raise your, I don't know if your video is turned off, that's fine. Now grab your pen and write all those things you wrote in the chat box, because that's the first start. Go to your book and write down that one you chose. Write it down and say, this is my goal as a parent. The reason why we are seeing a lot of family value system broken down, we're seeing children running helter-skelter like there's no form of training, is because we have lost that part that says, this is intentionality. This is my vision for parenting. This is my vision. This is what I want in my home. The earlier we get that sorted out, we will find it easier when we are parenting. You won't feel tired when you're correcting your child. You won't feel like you are being too hard because you already know where you're going to. Believe you me, if there is no discipline in the life of a child, that child will malfunction big time, all round malfunctioning. So I like and I love the fact that every one of us is saying, this is what I want as a parent. Now, the next question I'm going to ask us is how? How do we get there? Parenting is not a random thing. We have established that fact. It requires the fact. It requires that we plan, which is what we're doing now. I'm walking taking you through a coaching method that allows you to plan, and then you're working your way into, what is what I'm supposed to do. Wow. So people will wake up after this, or by God's grace at the end of this class, and realize that, what have I been doing since? Because parenting is about discovery. Do you know the more you pour into the life of your children, the more you're discovering who you are? Now, let me show you something. I said earlier, parenting has to do with you planning, being a project, being intentional. Parenting involves you're taking care of your child's spiritual needs. You're taking care of their emotional needs. You're taking care of physical needs, meeting them at that level where they are. What is their welfare? Psychological needs, emotional needs. You're meeting them at their social level. What is happening? You find that some children have more of some qualities and less of others. You can see a very super, let me say, a child that is academically strong, but that child struggles with, social manners or social etiquette. The child lacks it. Why? Because the parents are probably focused on do well in school, and do well in school. I'll tell us much later the impact of all that kind of parenting. I know most of us are familiar with, it's authoritative style, it's this one style. I'm not going to get into that right now. Our view of parenting affects how we nurture our children. That's why I said you should write it down. How you view parenting will affect how you raise your children. Many of us are so into, this is how my mom raised me. It's a good thing. Maybe you turned out well. Thank God, praise God. But you have to expand. You have to grow. When you have a fixed mindset about parenting, you may be missing it. Okay? As I said earlier, the more you pour into the lives of your children, the more you become intentional about parenting, you are also going to grow as a person. Parenting is an activity, it's an action word, it's a doing word. It's something that you do, okay? The same way, the more you are doing, it is coming back to you. It's like a ripple effect. I always say that one drop that you put in a child's life is like a ripple effect. Ripple effect is you put a drop of water in a still water, and then you put a drop in the center. It forms this circle that keeps going and keep going and keep going, like a disturbance that spreads. So imagine you do one positive thing. Thank you. Imagine you do one positive thing in the life of your child. How much impact will that be? Just think about it. It's like you're a carpenter now, and you're taking the hammer and you're hitting one spot and you're hitting that spot. You keep hitting that spot. What do you think will happen at the end of the day? It will give way. The same thing with parenting. You're pouring in with intention. You're pouring in with calculated outcome. This is what I want to achieve. This is how I want my kids to be, without you being controlling. Because of course, in the life of a child, there's a time for you to step back, because you have given them the values that they need to succeed. Somebody said, I want to raise, okay, a lot of people said raising responsible kids. A lot of us said things about our children being responsible adults, because that's one thing that we fail to understand. Many of us approach parenting, my kids are still small, you're still small. You're failing to look at the bigger picture. So the bigger picture now is what I want you to look into. Okay, your parenting perspective should change from my kids are just little. No, your parenting perspective should be the bigger picture. If you want to raise responsible adults, many, let me tell you for free, many adults are broken. Many adults struggle with keeping their hands to themselves. Many adults sit and shake. Sometimes we think it's normal. It's not normal. I see children day to day, because I'm not only a college teacher, I'm also a counselor kind of in my place of engagement. And one of the things I notice is we take for granted little things that define our children. Do you know that your personality is seen in the life of your children? Who you are as a parent transfers into your children, knowingly or unknowingly. Your children will want to sit like you. They want to make their hair like you. They want to dress up the way you dress up. And sadly, we have made big mess of what we think parenting should be. Many of us have made our children, our little girls, into idols. In fact, sex idols. I'm sorry, I have to use that word here, but that is the truth. Our children or our girls should not be seen as sex idols or toy things or sex toys. No. When I'm talking I had a session with a boy and a girl yesterday, and it had to do with that of course they're going through puberty and they're doing some level of touching here and there. And I called them, I said, excuse me, can you tell me who you are? Now I'm asking you as a mother. This is another session, this is another question where I will send you to the chat box. Who are you as a mom? Because who you are as a mom, you don't need to tell me I'm godly. I just go to your child and I look at your child. Yes, it's not all of them. There are some of them that will be, a bit deviant. We understand. But if you have 5 kids and 4 of them are deviant, then that's a problem. Now, who are you as a mom? What's the one word that you can, if I ask your kids, who is your mom? Not why do you like your mom? No, that question is vague. If I ask your children right now, who do you think mommy is? How will your children describe you? Have we ever thought about that? 10 years from now, what will your children remember the most about who you are? Now, let's go to the chat box. Right now, let's be as honest as possible. Who are you as a mom? Mommy, do you know who you are? I'm not talking as your role as a mom. Let's leave that side. You on your own, who are you? I'm not talking about your portfolio in your workplace. I'm not talking about, I'm a child of God. Everybody says they're children of God. But who are you? Do you know who you are? Do you know your identity? Do you know who you are? The identity crisis we are seeing in our children, identity crisis, I don't know if I'm gay, or I don't know if I'm lesbian, or tomorrow they'll tell you, I don't know if I'm transgender. I've had children. These are children from Elite, Foundation and all that. And what they're telling you is I can do both ways. And I'm surprised. I'm like, how can you say you can do both ways? So yeah, it's bisexual. I have had a girlfriend in the past, and now I'm trying to see if, I don't think there's no boy that can satisfy me. And you're like, you're gobsmacked. You're like, seriously? But that's the reality. That's where we are now. So if I tell you that your person as a mom matters, in your role, in your service as a parent, in your giving role, in your loving role, your personality matters. Who you are matters. Your identity. Do you spend time growing yourself? Do you spend time thinking through and saying, who really am I? A lot of people, after they are empty nesters, in that case means all their kids have gone to school, they start to draw back. They start to feel useless. They start to feel like they have nothing else to offer. And now that is also a problem. Mommy, you are relevant. Mommy, you are useful. The reason why we have a lot of mother-in-law situation and daughter-in-law situation is because mommy thinks she is still going to keep being a parent, adulting her adult. I don't know how else to put it, because she feels she has to still keep being that parent, that mommy, snuggy, carrying, protective thing for her adult man. And then you're shocked, like, hello, mommy, excuse me, take a step back now. Let us do our thing. Okay, the same thing with when a daughter-in-law is possessive and forgets that this young man is coming from a home. There is an identity issue. There's an issue of low self-esteem. There's so many women that struggle with low self-esteem. Now, imagine a mom that is struggling with low self-esteem. How will her kids be? How will they turn out? Okay, so I want us to think deeply. Now, this is not to condemn anybody. No, this is for you to wake up. I want your inner giant to wake up. I want you to wake up and see that, mommy, you're beautiful. Mommy, you have everything. God has given you everything that you need to raise not only godly children, but to raise responsible, great children that will be announced all over the world. God has given those things to you. All that is left is for you to be intentional about putting those values in your kids' life. Okay? Now, having said that, there are lots of things that influence how we parent. There are lots of things. If I start making the list, let me just make a few lists, run through what I have here. Preconceived ideas. Many of us think parenting is, don't come close to my children. No, if any teacher, if any this, I will do that. Many of us have that ideology that we have to be hawks. We have to be like eagles. We have to, I don't know, this overprotective thing. When you see parents display that, you know what I say to myself? This person has got a problem. If you know who your children are, you are not going to be all over wanting to watch. Hey, what did they do? Is it my child? This one. You know who you are, then you know you have given value to your children. There are some children that will hardly fall into this disciplinary stuff. I don't know if you've ever noticed. For those of us that probably are in teaching line, you will see a lot of those kind of children that have this confidence. They illuminate so much confidence that you're wondering, I want to meet the mom of this child. Okay, because that mom has been intentional. Okay, we are often overrun by our preconceived ideas, things that we think parenting should be. Now, wake up. Okay, for those of us, for some reason, I don't want to say everybody's a widow here. No, some people find themselves in this situation where eventually, I'm not going to talk about how you got here. I'm going to say, don't remain stuck here. Okay, I'm not going to say, how did you get here to be a single mom? No, don't remain stuck. If there are some single women that are doing it, single moms are doing it and doing it right, then there's something that they know that we ought to know. Okay, and one of those things is you have to leave your preconceived ideas behind. The Black man, African mentality stuff. Many of it has to be, put and laid aside. And then you have to take in fresh air and wisdom by joining a conference like this, or of course, reading more books. It will expose you to a lot of, wow, a lot of things that we hold so dearly. My mommy taught me, my dad, many of them are hindrances to our children's future. What do I mean? A lot of ideas that we have are old, obsolete, and irrelevant to our children's 21st century generation. Should I say that again? Many of the ideas that we hold so dearly to now may have worked for us and our parents, but will not work for this generation children. So what do? We have to put a hold on so many preconceived ideas. So many ideas that we used to think about, we need to put a hold on them and begin to learn. Okay, and begin to learn. Next is your upbringing. Our upbringing affects us greatly. Let me give us an illustration. I once had a place of engagement where they put this chain bar, and then everybody has to put their cars outside. So that morning I came in, I didn't know that was, I just got that place newly. So I came in and I saw that chain. And do you know what I did? I unhooked it, drove my car inside, came down, went to hook their chain back for them. And I sat down in my car waiting for the office to be opened. One lady came down and she left her car outside, but she saw me inside. She said, how did this woman come in? So she came to tap on I was trying to rest, and maybe those periods I like to read my Bible, rest a while and all that after the long drive. So she tapped my window and she said, hey, how are you doing? I said, hi, what's up? Like, okay, please, how did you drive in? I said, I took the chain down. I was like, oh, really? You took the chain down? Nobody came to. I said, who will come and meet me? So I was like, if they come now, they will tell me the reason why I should drive. I wasn't waiting for a fight. I'm like, it's normal for me to drive in. I can't leave my car on the road. That's simple. So she said, okay, that's fine. I'm going to do the same thing. So she did the same thing. Nothing happened. Do you know what that situation taught me? It taught me that mentally, a lot of us are having invincible barriers. Invincible barriers that says you can't cross past this level. And it's a lie. Nobody gave us that barrier. We are the ones that gave ourselves, this is a limitation because I'm a widow. No, this is going to be a limitation because I'm a single mom. Oh no, this is going. Many even married women with husbands and all that have those imaginary barriers. So you're going to break down those barriers. I want to ask you as a mom, what is the self-limiting belief that is holding you back as a mother? What is the one thing that makes you so afraid? May they not say. That's another thing that kills us in this country. I don't want people to think, I don't care about them. They don't matter. Imagine, yes. So I want you to go to the chat box. If you can be honest with me, then we are able to have a conversation afterwards. What are those imaginary bars that limit your parenting, that limits you in life? Because some of those things happen. Sometimes we start to tell our children, don't touch other people's laptop. Me, I don't have laptop. I cannot pay it. It sounds very, very silly. But you have introduced fear in the life of that child. You have introduced the fear of the fear of material things. That child starts to be afraid. No, this one will be our level. Imaginary, should I say, unconsciously, you have given that child an imaginary barrier. You have made that child to start saying, you know what, you can't go beyond this path. This portion is not meant for people like us. Just that careless statement you've made have given that child an imaginary barrier. So, mommy, you need to wake up. You need to wake up, and it starts with you. What is your own self-limiting belief? What is holding you back? What is telling you can't do it because you're alone? That's not true. Hagar was in the Bible and God saw her. That was the first official single mom we know. Okay, forget about her story. God stepped in for her because she was genuine. She was authentic. Many of us are not authentic. Many of us are fake. We are going with the crowd. We're going with, oh, let's just keep up an appearance. That is so wrong. You don't keep up appearance when you're drowning. When you're drowning, you don't keep up with appearance. It is a limitation. It is what the devil does to us. It just tells us, you know what, just package yourself, package. Don't let them know. And you're drowning when you need help. I love this community, and I love communities like this. Then you're doing a good job, because if women can be honest with themselves, we all need each other. Honestly speaking, we need each other daily. We need each other. We need to be interdependent, not, you know, when we're growing up, something that our parents had and had good was community. Today, we don't have community. What we have is a bunch of fake people. Okay, bunch of people who are drowning. That's what is making us look like, oh, that people are committing suicide. People are having mental health issues. I did a research late last year, and it had to do with teenagers, between teenagers from as young as, preteens, 12 up until 18, 19. It will shock you. It will shock you that so many of those things that we are doing unknowingly are impacting our kids. So, mommy, there's so much that we need to learn from, and so much that we need to know so that we are smarter. Okay? So that we are smarter. Thank you for all the comments that are coming in. Okay, I hope I'll be able to get the chats. I'll get to the chats much later. What else what else influences our parenting? Of course, somebody says social media. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We already know the impact of social media. Okay, our upbringing. Okay, the style of parenting, our parents, how they handled us. Basically, the style of our parents also affects us. Then our own lifestyle. As I said earlier, some of us like to put up appearances. That's how we are teaching our children to live a lie. Okay, we're teaching them to cover up. We're teaching them to make believe lifestyle, that kind of a thing, to live that kind of life. So our lifestyle affects our parenting. Maybe we're used to always being ashamed, or we grew up being shamed. Some of us, it's not your fault. Nobody's saying it's your fault. Some people they don't even know that what they are doing is a make-believe lifestyle. Some of us really don't even know it's manipulative for you to look at people somehow and you're not asking directly. That's something I always tell my children. If you come to my office, or if you come to knock on my door, just go straight to the point. Oh, Mrs. Salmo, please, can I have this? Straight to the point. Don't start saying, oh, you know, your hair looks beautiful. You know, all that is a bit manipulative. Before you know it, you start to go the way of Herodias' daughter, and start to go the way that, you know, those funny things. And those things, all of those, how we handle situations generally, our kids learn from us. So that's lifestyle. That's lifestyle. So as I said earlier, your personal identity affects your parenting. Who are you as a mom? Mommy, who are you? So I'm asking us that question. Well, how would your kids define you 10 years from now? Now, a big question I want us to think about now is, how do you want your children to define you? So this one we can answer because it's positive. So let's go to the chat box, please. How do you want your children to define you? 10 years from now, what one word do you want your children to say about you? Let's go. I'm waiting for us in the chat box, please. I'm waiting for us in the chat box. Okay, I'll wait for the first 8 comments so that I can move on and be sure that we are following. How do you want your kids to define you 10 years from now? What one word? Okay, if you can do 2, that's fine. How do you want your parents? I keep saying parents. How do you want your kids to define you? Okay. Okay, I want them to see. Okay, great. I love that. Thank you. Keep them coming. I'll read them out. Super mom, best mom in all ramification, virtuous mother, sincere, successful, independent woman. I love that. Define you as an upright mom. Way to go. That's it. That's it. Keep them coming, ladies. Keep your answers coming. A virtuous mom. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm clapping from here. Thank you. Independent, disciplinarian. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Virtuous mom. Okay. Keep them coming. Let me read two more. Let's take two more, then we go to the next part of this conversation. A victor. Yes, and you are a victor. Thank you. Okay, one more comment. Who is that lucky person? One more comment. I want my mom. Okay, my children, independent mom. Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you so much. A super mom. Thank you. Thank you. Of course, it takes a super mom to do what you're doing. You're a hero. Yeah, beautiful. A hero. That's nice. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So can I proceed now? If you have your answers, keep sending them. And I'm sure others. Okay, great. I want my children to find me as a great. Oh, I missed that. Okay, somebody said yes, to see me as a great caretaker. Is that what I saw? Okay, let me see that. Great caretaker and teacher. Beautiful, thank you. So we move on. Parenting is a project that requires you work with the end in mind. So remember we said the outcome. What is your outcome? Remember we tackled that question earlier. Is my time up? I don't know, somebody's talking. Hello. Okay, I seem to be echoing. All right. Parenting is a project that requires you work with the end in mind. And now I want to ask us, how do you want your children to turn out? We've answered and we've tackled that, that question earlier. What are the steps you need to take? Now, having said everything that I have said, I want to ask you, okay, a question. You may also need to write your answers down. Some of these questions I ask you, I encourage you to jot your answers, your specific answers. At the end of this class, do a retrospection, do a full evaluation of all the answers that you gave me. They're not just random, that you're writing from your heart. Okay, so those answers are going to give you a bigger picture of where the direction in which your parenting should be, should be going. Now, what are the steps you need to take? Number one is equipping yourself. So I applaud you for being here. Thank you for taking time. It's not easy to be here after work, after a busy day, after your business, to be here, or take some money and load up data and come here to join this beautiful community. So that's it. Number one is equipping yourself. Observe your mom. Okay, it's going to be like a tongue twister now. Mom moments. So your mommy moments. What are those times where you feel so satisfied? Like there's something that your kids will say to you or would do, or you would observe, or a situation, and you're like, like they give you satisfaction. Can you go to the chat box now and think about one mom moment that really touched your heart? While you are at it, I'll move forward with the conversation. How it gives you a reflection of how you influenced your children. Okay, it gives you a reflection. Let me give an example. It's like when you're in the car, you're driving your children, or you're walking down the street with your children, and somebody accidentally splashes water on you. Next thing you're like, waka there, and stuff like that. At the end of the day, as a mom, something in you tells you have done wrong. Something in you strikes you. Let me tell you, the day that thing will hit you is the day you see your daughter or your son doing the same thing that you have done. Like if you did 5 fingers or 10 fingers, your children will, when you see that moment, it's like, oh my God, I did this. Okay, that's like a mom moment, although it's a negative mom moment, but it's a mom moment that pinches you and like, oh, I need to redirect, I need to stop this. This is not working. So take your writing material. Let me give you an assignment. You may or may not share. Take your writing material. On the right, put in your positive mom moments. Your positive mom moments where you saw your child make or made a good decision and you were satisfied in your spirit, or they did something that surprised you, but it was in a positive way. So that's right. Then on the left are some of the things that you saw unknowingly. Your children probably didn't know that you were observing what they were doing, or their conversation, or their style of conversation. And you caught that and it touched you in a negative way. Like, oh, I don't want my children doing this. If you want to share, please share. It will help us as an audience. It will help us to grow together. It's always a good thing to share, not from a negative, nobody's shaming anybody, but it's a good thing for us to share. So if you can actually type, or if you want to speak, you can indicate that, oh, you want to quickly say something. I would give you a chance to make a reflection on that. So now that we have done all this, what's next? What's the next step? I talked about equipping yourself. Your plan as a parent needs to be written black and white. You need to put it in your wardrobe and say, Ifeoma, this is your plan for today. One step at a time. Make sure that you do this. Sometimes the ingratitude and the complaints that our children give us are what they have seen us do. They have seen us complain and complain and complain and nag and nag and nag. They've seen it in us. They have hardly seen us say, oh, you helped me. Thank you. That's a mom moment for me that really touched me. Of recent, okay, my son is not here. Let me quickly share. Of recent, I started doing something. My son is much older than my daughter. So I wanted him to actually start helping. Okay, helping. Of course, he helps in the house, but to be a natural part of helping without me saying, go and do this. I don't know if you understand my point. Like, you don't want to give a directive. You just want the child to take initiative, be intuitive, and say, I want you to do this. I don't want to say, he would just see there's water on the floor and it's mopping. He just goes, mopping. You know what I started doing? When I started appreciating and saying, oh, you washed all the plates. Oh my God, you saved me tons of work. Thank you so much. When I started pouring into his emotional tank positively, I started seeing even things I didn't ask him to do. He started doing them. My daughter too is also competing. Mommy, I did this. So, that's nice. Guess what? My workload in the house. Pew. Really, when you're intentional about pouring into your children's emotional tank, okay, it helps you as well. Your mind, you're calm. And then there's this positivity in the air. The whole house is calm. There's joy, there's peace, there's quietness, because you are changing the direction of your parenting. You're not using can't you people see? Yes, sometimes I do that. Let me be honest. Sometimes I didn't somebody see that this thing is like this? You don't need me to tell you. So when you start saying, oh, thank you so much. So you wipe this thing. Thank you. The children will be working hard to get that positive. The children work hard to get that positive feedback from you. They want to be reassured. Oh, they want you to be, they want to see mommy smile. It will surprise you. Some of us don't smile anymore. Okay, your children really want you to smile. They want you to relax. Like, they want you to just sit down and watch TV with them. Sometimes we miss out on those little mom moments. I call them mom moments because there are times that remind you why you're actually a mom. Okay, there are times that remind you that you're doing a good job as a mom. It's not when the house is tidy. Let me tell you, it's not when the house is tidy. It's not when all the shoes are properly arranged, or when all the bills are paid. No. It is those little beautiful times that we don't notice that actually makes it satisfying and fulfilling that you're a mother. So I want you to, to think back and sit down or think about how your children came to say happy birthday to you and you're not expecting them. They didn't even tell you that they were making a plan. Those are mom moments and we should never take them for granted. Okay, we should never take them for granted. What are your core values? I know the next speaker is going to talk about core values. What are your core values? What are the things that are no for you? In some homes, lying is normal. Excuse me. Excuse me. In some homes, lying is normal. Dressing anyhow is normal. Touching, boy, girl, touching anyhow, it's normal. Why? Because there are no standard core values. I'm going to ask us to quickly go to the chat box. What are your 5 is too much, 3 core values in your home right now? Excuse me. What are the 3 core values in your home right now? Can you identify? Because we are unknowingly passing information, we are unknowingly passing all these virtues. My time is up, right? Okay, I'll roll out of here. Your value system, your family life plan. Do you have a life plan? 2 years from now, where are you? What are you doing? Not only for your kids, what are you as a mom doing? What are you doing? Do you have a life plan? I call it a life plan. So for those of us that want to continue further, my dear friend Diane has a mentoring session for moms. Okay, some of these things we have to, we have to pay a bit. Okay, we have beautiful one that we're starting for our kids. As I said, remember in the earlier part of the discussion, we talked about community. We are stronger together, not apart. We are stronger together. But I'm not saying come and pull all your finances together. No, what I'm saying is when you watch my back, I watch your back. That is what mentoring does. When your children are able to sit under a well-versed tutor or some role model, okay, if you have a male child, a upstanding citizen, not a anyhow male, a responsible adult, telling your children specific things, even how to be a man. People need to learn it. Boys need to learn, not about having sex. No, that's what I'm talking about. How to be emotionally balanced. We have a lot of children that just cry up and down. I don't understand that crying, When you cry, finish. No. You have to be able to absorb. So there's so many things to teach our children. So many things. Etiquette, how to eat, how to personal hygiene. There's so many things we're taking for granted these days. How to talk, how to laugh in public, how to sit, how to be charming, how to mix up, how to make new friends. There's so many things to teach our children. We don't know it all. I don't know it all. The other day I was telling my colleague, sorry, Diane, please, are you people kicking me out? I'll quickly go. I was telling my colleague, I had to sit down. I started re-educating myself on how to be an elegant woman. Okay, I started sitting down to watch those videos again. How to sit in public. I started doing it again. Not like I don't know. I teach my children in school, but I had to start relearning because what happened then is not. American way of sitting is different. Okay, UK way of sitting is different. I had to start teaching my children. No, the cutlery is for UK, and when you're going to Canada, this is called cutlery. When you're going to this is how you do it. Okay, questions. Bring your questions in. Diana's giving this.
Hey! Oh my God!
Sorry.
Is anybody feeling the fire in this room? Sorry. Are you feeling the fire? Because even though my mic was off, I was just saying, you were just giving the punch.
Sorry, please.
No, but it was fantastic. Oh my God. You were just giving us uppercuts.
Sorry, ma. Forgive me, everybody. Don't mind.
Thank you. Oh my goodness. We can. It's like I should allow you to continue, but
sorry, forgive me.
We are going to pause. Thank you so much. So many things that you have said. So many things that you have said are so, they resonate so well. Things like you were talking about we forgetting that setting values, how to eat, how to sit, the voice tone outside, all those kind of things. There are things that we think they are not important, but we want to raise children who will go out there and represent us well. If we don't teach them these things, how are they going to know? You want outsiders to influence them. Thank you so
Let's
much.
share it, Grace. Sorry.
Thank you.
You guys have
Thank you. But we'll keep that question to the end. Or let's do it this way. If you have questions, please drop it in the comment section. As soon as the next speaker finishes, would round up the questions, and both of them would answer the questions today. Hey, anybody that missed this session, anybody that missed this your session, they need to go and get this this video, this session, and watch it. I'm going to watch it again.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry about that. Anybody that, so it's live on YouTube. If you want to watch it again, you can go back and watch it. It's actually on YouTube. If you want to go back and watch it, please go back and watch it. It's on YouTube. Yes, go back and watch it. Like, oh my goodness. As in, we made it intentional that this one, we have to record it. So thank you so much. Put your questions in the comment section. She came prepared for us. And without further ado, we're bringing our next speaker up, Uncle Sele. Uncle Sele. It's so good to have you on the call. It's such a privilege. Some of us in Lagos who were there for the awareness for grieving children in December that we always do, would have met him. He was there. He was very instrumental to the success of that program. Thank you so much for joining us. I'll just quickly read out his profile, and it says Opofoni Selekumo, popularly known as Uncle Sele. He is a values and character coach for children. He's also an associate lecturer with the Institute of Student Affairs Management, an institute for family protection. His purpose is to build and frame the minds of the upcoming generation to make the right decisions based on values. He's the founder of an online school for values, character, and child mentoring called Trees and Pillars. He runs courses like Becoming, Boys Arena, Princess Court, the U Program, Time Management for Children, the Value-Centric Child. He's also a storyteller. He's also a storyteller on his podcast called Bible Bedtime Stories for children, listened to in 67 countries worldwide. Wow. He also has a song on YouTube called Values Anthem, A to Z Values, which was launched on the 27th of May, 2021. He is also the I Am Special Code for he also wrote the I Am Special Code for Children Against Sexual Abuse. Every year, the Uncle Sele Foundation runs different intervention programs for children, like Rebirth of Child in the Special Correctional Center for Boys and Girls, Christmas Memories for the Less Privileged Children and Widows, Children's Day Party Games. He served as a soldier in the Nigerian Army for 13 years. He has worked and volunteered with several NGOs like Protect Nigeria Foundation, CS Dawn, Safe School Africa, Feed a Child, Clothe a Child, Heritage Children Foundation, Sisiara, and we did not include WiCare. Please, round of applause. This bio is wonderful.
I'm going to add WiCare.
Please add WiCare with all pleasure. Thank you so much. Such a profile. Oh my goodness. I'm talking to a celebrity. Thank you so much, Uncle Sele. We are very pleased to have you.
Oh my God.
We are looking forward to your session. Like he has come to WiCare once, but it was when we used to do typing in the group, and that one was still very impactful. But now we're going to hear it live and direct. As in, I'm looking forward to it. Thank you so much. The floor is yours. I'll be out of your hair now. Yes.
Okay, how many minutes do I have?
You have 30 minutes.
Okay, 30 minutes. Sir. Okay, so I'm sure we can do it. Right. Yeah. Okay, good evening, everybody. Amazing first session. God, as in, I was writing, I called my wife and said, baby, come and learn, everybody, come and learn. As in, that was awesome. That was really, really awesome. There's a question she asked, she talked about, what you think parenting is. And there's one thing that I always tell parents, that parenting is transfer. Parenting is transfer. So let me explain what I mean by parenting is transfer. It means that when you have children, they come empty, but there's something that we do. We transfer to them. So now one of the major issues that we are having in our country, Nigeria, around the world, is a lack of transfer, or where parents don't transfer enough. So the problem is parents are not transferring. Parents are not looking at their children. In fact, the truth is that the first speaker actually spoke a whole lot about, she said a whole lot about things I'm going to say. So it means that what I'm going to do is reinforce what she has said, which is literally fantastic, because you hear it once, you hear it again, what it means is a relevant information for you to have. So it means that we're transforming ourselves, because I've also learned from her. I would take what I've learned from her, add to my own, and also pour it down to you. So it means that I'm also transferring while I'm also learning. So remember, the first thing I'm going to say today is parenting is about transfer. So when you love, when you're nurturing, when you have goals, of parenting, what you're doing is you are putting yourself in such a position that you can transfer properly. Now, I always say that there are certain things that you must transfer to your kids. So the first thing is that I say that your kids must know who they are. But they must know, if they will know who they are, it means that you as the parent, you know who you are. So that's where the identity comes from. My parents know who they are. So it means that when I sit down with my children, I'm also making them understand, who they are as children and how they are going to function in life. You will transfer values to your children, which is what we're going to talk about. You will make your children understand how to have fun. Entertainment. You will tell them that, look, the world has fun. The way people have fun, but there's a way you must have fun. There's a way you enjoy yourself. You will not do it the way the world is doing it, because if you move in that direction, this is what will happen to you. You will transfer to your children about God. If you don't transfer about God, they will learn somewhere else, or there will be deficiencies, about, in their knowledge about who God is. So it means that it's our own responsibility to transfer to our children, about God in heaven. Now, let me quickly share something that God told me this year. When I asked him, I said, God, this is another year, and what do you want me to say to parents every time I have the opportunity to do that? And he said something. He took me to the place where, if you know your Bible very well, where Abraham wanted to sacrifice Isaac. And when Abraham was about to use the knife, God said, do not use the knife on your child. He said, drop the knife. So that was the instruction God told me to tell parents this year. He said, tell them to drop the knife. And I said, how? He said, the truth is that when you don't have enough information, there's every possibility that you will harm your child. When you don't have enough information, there's every possibility that you will transfer the wrong thing, or you will not parent right. We have had situations where a parent is telling his son to use his brother for rituals because they need money. So that is a parent, handing over the knife to a child, or using the knife to kill our own child. So you see, we as parents, we must understand parenting in such a way that we transfer to our children the right information, so that as they grow older, remember when everybody was writing, this is my goal for parenting. I want to raise, I want to nurture my children. I want my children to be God-fearing. Excuse me. Your children will be God-fearing because you will transfer how to be God-fearing to your children. Your children will learn how to respect people because you will teach your children how to respect. So now, let's talk about the values transfer. Why value? Think about it. Why are values very important? Why is there a need for us to have, a parenting program, and one of the topics is values transfer or family values? Because it is one of the major problems that we're having in the country. Our kids, our children don't understand values. Now, we will not blame our children. We will blame ourselves for not knowing enough about values to be able to transfer to them. So when they find themselves outside, they cannot make decisions based on values. So what are values? Very easy. Values are principles, beliefs that are important to you. Let me just make it as easy as possible. So let me give you an example. In my home, we say God first. So it means that, spirituality is a key value in my home. We say God first in everything that you do. God first. You're going to school. God first. Before you go to school, make sure that they prays for you, that He blesses you. So you see, it's become a norm in my house. Before they go to school, they say, Daddy, bless me. But it started from, come, I need to bless you before you go to school. Daddy, why do you need to bless me? Then I say something like, look, it is God that will give you sound mind. Do you understand? It is God that will reveal, give you understanding. So I make them understand the importance of God in their lives in everything that they do, even school. So I will tell them things like, look, in the home, we must be clean. We must respect people. We will respect each other. So you see, I am framing how my kids should behave at home and outside. I am framing how my kids should respond to people, because I will also transfer how life is. I will transfer how to relate with people. So the truth is, values are very, very important. Now, what are the importance of values? Values determine yes or no. Values will determine your yes or your no. Your values will determine the things that you permit and the things that you will not permit. So when I'm with people and they want me to do some certain things, I said no. And they say, why? You were the soldier. Why can't you do those things? And I say no. So let me give an example. I don't drink alcohol. So every time I'm, probably in my estate, I'm gonna have meetings and all that. They say things like, why secretary not the drink? Say he doesn't drink. Secretary will be soldier. But you see, the thing is, it's my own value. I value myself. I value my body, because I say things like my body is the temple of God. So God needs this body, and I don't want to put anything that has alcohol inside. So it drives my yes or my no. So I will say no to it, and if someone will say no, this is the first soldier that I've seen that doesn't drink. It's fine. And I say things like, look, I influence children. If I do not want children to do the things that I do, I would not do those things. Do you understand? I don't want them to do this thing. So it means that I will not do them. I would not be an hypocrite. Do you understand? So what are your values? The last speaker said, what are your three major values? I think we should do that also. Do you understand? What are your three major values? Let's go to the chat room. What are your three major values? What are your three major values? What are your three major values? I'm in the chat room. Excuse me. What are your three major values? What are your three major values? So let me give you mine. God first. Learning and knowledge. I like to learn. I like to grow. I like to, I like information. Do you understand? I like to influence positive. I want a situation where someone meets me, the person gets something. The person, something from me, it influences that person positively. So influence is part of my value. Knowledge and learning, part of my value. Now, because I deal with kids a whole lot and I'm always very animated, it means that fun is one of my values, because I cannot reach out to some kids if I'm not very animated and things like that. So you see, I understand who I am, because your values will define your character. So my question is, what are your values? What are your values? If your home atmosphere because your home atmosphere will also be affected by who you are. So if you notice, there are some places you will go to that you cannot stay because there's a certain way that that home is. You can easily see hate. You can easily see fear. You can see that people are always shouting. Do you understand? Your values affect your home atmosphere. Your values, they affect your home atmosphere. Do you understand? So if you come to my house, trust me, my kids will run and hug you. They'll say, good evening, my name is Akili, my name is Miracle. They are always loving because there is love in my home. Love, exactly, sincerity. So let me see. Let's go to the chat room. Your core values, fear of God, sincerity, love. Do you understand? So it means that when all these values determine the things that will happen in your home. There's some things that, when you see that is not part of your core values, you will react. Say, no, that is not love. So when my daughters are trying to, hate, and trying to say that this is, I ask them a question: war zone or love zone? War zone or love zone? They rearrange themselves. War zone or love zone? So your values create your home atmosphere. Your values will determine the things you will permit in your home. Be honest always. Set your priorities right. Sharing and giving. Do you understand? No lies, no matter how bad it is. I'm telling you, it is so fantastic because, see, by the time you have this value, then your children will be framed. Your children know that, look, there's no reason to lie. Mommy has told us that, look, don't tell lies. Daddy has told you, don't tell lies. See, my wife is here. Every time my children try to be smart, we know. So we tell them, look, you don't need to try to deceive daddy. You don't need to try to deceive mommy. Just say it as it is. When you do you understand? Don't try to outsmart daddy. It won't work. Do you understand? So they easily come and and say, Dad, I did something. Mom, I did something. They will show love. What did you do? And another thing that value discipline, fantastic. Let's take two more. Love, honesty, and discipline. Fantastic. Fear of God, fantastic. See, I want to tell you something. Let me say something. Be transparent no matter what. Be transparent no matter what. Let me tell you one of the reasons why values in your children are very important in this time and season. Respect, fantastic. Thank you, everybody. So let's continue. Now, let me tell you something. One of our major issues that we have in this country or in parenting is that parents do not understand time and season. The first speaker said something that the way things used to be, the way things were done before, are not the ways things should be done now. Yes, it is understanding the time and the season that we're in. When you understand the time and season, you will know how to parent right. You will understand that without values, there's every tendency that your child will crash outside. I'm telling you. And we have heard too many stories of children crashing, and children as young as 8, 7, 10. So we cannot have children crashing. We cannot have children falling on the ground. Yes, children will make mistakes, but it shouldn't be that type that, tends to want to break the child's whole self-esteem. It is because of a lack of value. It is because of a lack of understanding of the time and season. If you understand the time and season, you will know that values are necessary. Values are key. Values are key. I'm going to ask you a question. I need us to be very sincere. I need us to be very, very sincere. How many of us here have ever spoken to our children about values? Let's be sincere. Just say, if you have done it, say yes. If you have not done it, say no. I want us to be very sincere. How many of us here have ever, if you have ever spoken to your children that, look, values, this is what values mean. This is why they're important. This is why we should have them. Only one person has said yes. Wow. 2, yes. 3, yes. 4, yes. 5, okay, one person says I have, but it wasn't a deep conversation. Yes. Yes. So nobody, yes. Yes, fantastic. So I'm going to ask another question. How many of us have family values that our children know? We have these family values and you have transferred it to your children. Your children can say, these are the core values of Favor Jones. Yes, but it wasn't 10 values. There are 3 and 1. Okay, of course, there are 3 and 1. Thank God you have started now. Thank God you have started already. There are 3 and 1. It means they can begin to learn it now. Because these days, our children can use phones. So it means that if they can use phones, they can learn anything. So how many of us, can our children, say our core values? Just say yes. If your children know the core values, your family values, please say yes. Your children know the family values, say yes. Me, no lie in the moment. Okay. Yes. Okay, one person, yes. Another person, yes. Another person, yes, yes. Fantastic. Everybody says yes. Fantastic. Look, I want to say something. Another thing that we'll do as we say yes, as they know the core value, is to also observe our children. Observe them. When your children go out, let them tell you about their day. Let them tell you things, how they were able to express their core values outside, how they were able to use those core values. Do you understand? And let them tell you how their values were challenged. Because their values will be challenged. Let them tell you, was any of your core values challenged today? Was any time that you almost felt like telling lies? Was there any time that you felt like hitting someone? Was there any time that you felt like hitting someone? Was there any time that you were in school, instead of learning, you were disturbing? Was there any time? Talk to your children about it, because values will form their character. Values will define their brand. So it's just like when you drink Coke, it is Coke. When my child meets your child, they should know that this is how this child behaves. Because our children will meet. My child will meet Diane's children. My daughter will meet our children. It's something I call their job parenting. Our children will meet. And let me tell you what will happen. The values you have put in your children will be expressed. The values I have put in my children will also be expressed. What we have not taught them will also come out, will also show. And if anything bad happens, like maybe names are called, or there's something you see that you don't like, that's when you now say that, I met someone's child today and this was what happened. Our children will meet. We all heard the story of Dubai. What happened within among 4 children. 4 children cost the whole country. We're all worried. The 4 children, 4 kids made the whole country sad. 4 kids made them lock down or shut down a school before it was reopened. 4 kids brought embarrassment to their family. 4 kids. So do you understand? Our children will meet. There will now be an expression of either the values you have taught your children or the vices our children have started imbibing. You must also let your children know that there is an existence of values and there's an existence of vices. You must know that your children will choose, and you must let them understand. When you begin to talk to your children about life, when you begin to talk to your children about values and decision making, your children, you must make them understand that, look, every value that you make decisions based on, you definitely see the consequences of those decisions that you make, good or bad. If you make decisions based on values, you will get the consequences of that. If you make decisions based on vices, you will also get the consequences of that. So you must teach your children values and decisions. You must teach your children decisions and consequences. I'll take that again. You must teach your children values and decisions, because their values will influence that decision. And every decision that they make will have consequences, good or bad. So if you teach your children how to learn, if you teach them the value of learning, what they will begin to express is they make decisions based on learning. Now, they will also know that there are consequences of learning. So if it's good, they will reap the consequences. So when they read in school, they pass their exam. But if they make decisions based on vices, they will also get the consequences based on that decision that they've made. So it is very important that you start from the top. You have family values, you transfer family values, then also you make them understand values and decision making. You must also make them understand that values will form who they are. Values will form, their brand. When you meet Uncle Sele, trust me, this is what will happen to you. Every time I'm in church, every time, I have a class that I teach. Immediately the parents come to pick their children. I ask the question, how is he or she doing at home? How is he or she helping you at home? What are the things that they do? Are they doing well? What are the things that they need help with? Then father will tell me, mother will tell me, then we'll begin to help. That's why a community is good. That's why you're in a community, you speak out when you need assistance, in terms of parenting. Oh, look, there's this thing that I need to do, I need help. There are times that I tell other parenting coach or kids coach to train my children, because I need the transfer from other people, not only daddy. So that they begin to know that it is not only daddy that is thinking like this. It is not only mommy that is thinking like this. When they meet Auntie this, they also say this thing. Do you understand? So you also need that. That's why community is good. When I meet the young boys, I will talk, hey, how are you doing? So tell me, do you help mommy at home? Do you sleep? What do you do at home? I met a mom who said, I was asking her, my normal uncle, hey, how are your children? I hope they help you at home, mommy. And she said, this one is already ironing his clothes by himself. He washes his school uniform, he irons it. And I said, how old is your son? And she said, our son is 6 years old. I said, are you serious? Your son is 6 and he can iron. She said, yes, now, we iron it for him. I'm not always around. So I trained him to be able to iron his clothes. I said, wow. He's 6. Yeah, I know some people wouldn't like the idea of that, but you see, she's transferring independence at a very early stage, and she knows why she's doing that. It's a core value for her. So our children can literally take care of themselves. Then you're surprised. I was surprised myself. Yes, the boy is 6, and he can iron. So your children are not too young to learn anything. Once it's in your head like this, and you transfer to your kids, your children assume that's how life is. That's why they will tell you everything starts from the home. Everything you pour in your children accept it as life. That is why your children must also learn about life from you. Your children must learn about life from you. Your children must learn about, relationship from you. Your children will learn about a whole lot of things from you. Because when they go out, it is what mommy has said that becomes a defense. It is what daddy has said that becomes a defense. That's the truth. What you say has become the defense. The day a boy told my daughter, I like your body, it is because we have taught my daughter about her body that she came home to tell me, and she knows that we don't keep secrets. She came home to tell me that, Daddy, can you imagine? I'm sure I've shared this story before. Can you imagine? I said, what is this? Daddy, can you imagine? I said, what's the problem? We're playing outside, and one small boy told me he likes my body. I was like, what? My father needs to teach you values. My father needs to teach you values. And she came home and was saying, Daddy, you need to teach that boy values. You need to teach his daddy and his mommy values so that they will teach him. Like, when she told me, I'm like, my daughter, yes, so I need to teach that boy values. Oh. He said, what? Do you understand? So everything starts from the home. Everything starts with you. Everything starts with you. Everything starts with you. Trust me. There is nothing, everything that your child will see outside is something that you can tell them about. So it means that you will help your children make decisions, by just gisting with them and telling them stories, telling them different things. It is you. It is you, because it is important to you. And you know how the society is right now. There are wolves out there. There are people waiting to influence your children negatively. And if your child stands out to say no to the wrong thing, yes to the right thing, your child builds a positive brand and can influence other people. There was a day my daughter came to me and said, Daddy, please, I need something. And I said, what do you need? I was tired. I was really tired. But she just said, Daddy, I need you to help me do something. I said, okay, what do you need? What do you want me to do? So I got up. Immediately I got up, she looked at me. I said, oh, you always have time for us. Yeah, I'm sure I've never blushed like that in my life before. I'm telling you, she's like, oh, you always have time for us. As in, I melted. I was like, what if I just said no? It means I would have missed this moment. Do you understand? So we must start, we must transfer values to our children like no man's business. It's like giving your child money. It's like giving your children money, because your children will leave you. And when they go outside, it is everything that you have taught that they will be saying. Mommy said this to me. So it means that what this person is saying is not true. It's not true. And you'd have painted this scenario for your child. So your child just knows that, look, thank you, but I won't do it. Cheat? No, thank you. Steal? No, we don't take what is not ours. No, we don't do that. We don't do that in this house. We don't do that. Do you understand? Your child is defining his or her brand. No, we don't do that. It is because you have told your child, even when you don't have, you will tell your child that even if you don't have, say no. God will provide. So your child can say, no, thank you. I know I don't have right now, but God will provide. It is your words in his or her mouth. Do you understand? Let's go and read. Oh, man, I need to read. I need to read because mommy has said when you read, you'll come out great. You will roll with people that, you roll with kings. You will create value. So let me, before I go, let me just share this story. My last daughter, she likes to hit, when she's playing with her sister, she likes to hit her. So I was thinking, no, this my daughter cannot grow up to be a bully. It's not, this one is, apart from the fact that it's Uncle Sele's daughter, is something that I need to handle. So I told her, I said, see your hands. I said, your hands are not to hit people. Your hands are to create value. Your hands are to create things. So instead of hitting someone, touch the person's face like this. You will not believe. You would not believe, Diane, that because I always say so she can remember. So I say, Mimi, what do we use our hands for? She now looks at me and says, we create. She's young. We create and we love. Do you understand? So when she looks at me and because she likes it, anytime someone does something, she wants to she thinks she's playing, she also wants to hit you. And you can just say, why are you slapping me? But that's not what she wants to do. So I just made her understand that, look, instead of doing this one, just play with the face and know that your hands are to create value and not to make someone cry. So I say, so what do you do with your hands? We create value, we make people happy, we play with their faces and all that. So you see, you will transfer the value to your child. Your child will transfer that value to the society. Thank you very much, everybody. I've seen the answers. I know that she's just saying, your time is up, your time is up, your time is up.
Thank you so much, Uncle Sele. Thank you. Powerful. I wrote, as you were talking, I was writing. I one of the things I wrote here is your values will be challenged. Your values will be challenged. We often think that, just because it's our value, we have put it, we have created it, it will never be challenged. But the truth is, it will definitely be. If it's not tested, how will you know that it's working? If a manufacturer builds a car and does not test run it, how will he know it's working? How will he know that those values are working? Thank you so much. Thank you. I learned a lot. Yes. And another thing I wrote here is that your values will form their character. Your values as a person, as a woman, as a mom, as a parent will form their character. Something you said in the beginning, I'd just like to reiterate, is that children are born tabula rasa. It means that they are born empty. It means that they are born without ideas, norms. They are born empty. So it's what you pour into that child that forms that child. The things a child is influenced by their environment, the things that they have seen, the things that have been that resonate with where they grew up.
Daddy, mommy, relations, people,
environment, neighbors,
environment,
their mindset. Yes. Forms everything about them. So, thank you so much, Uncle Sele. Such a fantastic and awesome session. Awesome session. Now we'll quickly go. We have we have about 12 minutes, if I can put it, or 11 minutes. So let's go and take questions. Any questions? Any questions? Any questions? Do we have questions in the comment section? Let me see if there are any questions. Let me see. Okay, no questions, but I have one from my direct message. I wrote it down. It says, "Good evening, facilitators. My children have been very defiant to me since my husband passed away. How do I deal with that? How do I help them? I seem really helpless right now, and I have enjoyed this teaching, and I want to take back what I have learned to my home. How do I do this?"
Okay. Let me.
So this is what we will do. I would allow you to speak, Dr. Ifeoma, if you're still here.
Yes, ma'am. I'm here. I'm listening.
Okay, so I would like both of you to share your thoughts on for this mom, to help save this mom.
Okay.
Do you know how old the kids are?
She didn't mention. But I think if they would either be preteens, from preteens upwards, so they're definitely not very young children. For her to be complaining.
Okay, so let me just answer in say very short time because I know we don't have time. Okay, so for me, one thing I know we need as parents is relationship. Now, relationship in the sense that we need to be able to connect with our children. Now we know them. You know your child. One thing that is key, one thing that can help you, transfer, a lot of things to your kids, where they can come to you, tell you things, is when you build relationship with them. Now, Diane, I can tell you things, because we've built, this relationship, and we talk about things that, that has to do with parents, kids, and all that. So relationship can make me say things. Relationship, and kids want time with their parents. Now, it's when there's an absence of it that they go outside, see things, get worried, come home, express themselves because they feel like that environment that they've come back to is not what they have seen outside. Now, relationship can help you dial down a whole lot of things. Relationship can help you, can remove some things from your children's mind when you are inside of them, when they're inside of you. Do you understand? So what I think is create time, bond with them.
Yeah.
Now, one of the reasons why I asked for how old they are is, when you started doing something, from time, it makes it very easy. So, for example, my kids are quite young, and because I've been bonding with them over time, it's easy for them to come to me to tell me things. Easy for me to, just say, hey, Akili Mimi, I want to say something to you, and they just run to me because they know that daddy wants to say something, daddy wants to make us laugh, or something like that. So you see, relationship
to build a relationship. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Dr. Ifoma, do you have anything
Okay,
to
thank
add?
you. Uncle Sele, thank you so much. I appreciate your wisdom. I was also taking notes too. Sessions like this sharpen our skills. So, dear mommy, I wish we could talk to you because sometimes, I don't know if he's a teenager, if they're preteens, then they're probably responding to grief. I don't know how long ago you lost your husband, which I'm so sorry that you lost your husband. We find children that start playing social distance a lot, even in school, because they are grieving. You can't tell a child how to grieve. And maybe you're also being
just like adults.
hard. Yes, just like adults. Maybe you're also being too hard on yourself. I know there's so much to be done. I can only imagine what you're going through. I can just, try to put my feet, like I can't pull my shoes completely. It's not possible. I'm sure my legs will be too small inside your shoes. So mommy, you're doing a good job. Relax. Because when children are becoming more rebellious or defiant, they are responding what am I trying to say? Sorry. They're responding to a negative feedback that you're giving. I know, when you're doing that stuff alone, there's a lot of pressure. You want the house to be clean. You're thinking of going to get a new job. You're thinking of paying the bills. You're thinking of paying their school fees. You're carrying all that. Your children cannot be your husband. So, mommy, relax. Okay?
Thank you so much.
If your tone is too hard, go softer. Overlook so many things for now because the kids are probably grieving, but you don't know how hard or how much daddy's absence is hitting them. You can't say. You are missing your side, your companion. I know how that feels. Okay? So, mommy, calm down. Go soft. Overlook some certain things. Open up your struggles. Because if you're doing super mommy with your children, you're also going to lose that connection Uncle Sele was talking about. Just sit them down and, it's okay if they see you cry. It's okay if they see that you can't do it alone. It's okay. It doesn't mean that you are weak. You're not also getting them to pity you. No. What you're trying to say is mommy is human. Mommy needs help. Mommy loves you. Mommy just needs that, some moments of, oh, mommy, you're doing well. Do you understand? So it's okay to just take that burden. Or you can't be a perfect, even Uncle Sole can agree with me that even in his home, they're still both not perfect, but it's a lot easier. Sometimes when we make a mistake, let me tell you, when I ever make mistake, I'll go back to my room and say, Father Lord, I've committed today. You just know that you have committed. And then the next day or early morning, I just go to my son's room or my daughter, hey, wake up. Hey, I didn't listen to what you were saying very well yesterday. I'm so sorry. So, mommy, sometimes I have to start apologizing. Sometimes you have to be like a child to reach a child. Children apologize easily to themselves. You have to come down to their level, sit on the floor with them, laugh. Well, you say, okay, you know what? There's this thing that also works. Let me throw it out here. So throw it open so everybody can also learn. You can say, you know what, today mommy wants to serve you. Tell me what you want mommy to do for you today. That works, especially when you've had a busy week, maybe Saturday morning, or you tell them to write what they want you to do with them, maybe tomorrow. And then you tell them, you know what, I have 30 minutes with each of you. What is the most important thing that you want mommy to do? Or maybe you want mommy to tell you a story, or you want to, my daughter's own is, mommy, come and watch a movie with me. And then she's happy. She said, mommy, we've not had our me time. Do you understand? So you can do that same thing. You will find a secret. And I pray for you, that mommy that is going through this. God will open your eyes. Your children, this love language thing, your God will open your eyes to see your children's love language. Some of your children, all they need is, oh, I appreciate you. You are so beautiful. I told my daughter, I woke up one morning, I just told her, you are so beautiful. She said, mommy. I said, don't you know? Sometimes you're doing reverse psychology, but you are also warming you're warming yourself towards your children's heart. You're penetrating their heart. You're communicating. Sometimes I look at my son, I say, I found one fine boy, all my dear girls, like you're hailing him and saying, oh, the girl's neck will break. And I don't go and carry the leg and come back to his village straight.
Thank you so much, Doc.
Okay, you're welcome.
Thank you so much. Thank you. We're still going to talk about, I'm telling you guys, this workshop is full. If you're missing, don't miss any session. She said something about love language. That is coming much later. And from what I gather, both of you have said, it's just simply what? Relationship, paying attention to the child, paying attention. Lack of paying attention to a teenager or a preteen can make them become rebellious. I was a rebellious teen at some point in my life because my mom was not hearing me. She was always too harsh, always, and it was just out of love. She thought she was loving me the right way, but she was not. She was always screaming at me, always, and I think also because of my personality, I took it the wrong way. But it took just one connection, just one connection to change all of that. Now, guess what she did, which I'm sharing in case, her and another person might encounter it. She found me someone to talk to. So she had this best friend my mom was a child's education psychologist, somewhat in that line. So she had this friend who was also a counselor. And back then, she just told the woman, how had been. She understood. I think my mom understood at some point, what was responsible for it. Just a conversation with that woman. I just needed to be heard. So, mommy, maybe your teenager, your preteen, just wants to be heard, just wants you to listen, just wants you to hear them. So, if you cannot reach them, perhaps recommend them to someone, or wait, when we start our mentoring academy or club, you can also refer him to or her to one of the mentors that will be in that club. But it always works. It worked with me. She just spoke to me and I vented. Oh, this is what they are doing. She just listened. She didn't say 2 words. She was just listening to me say, is that all? And guess what she said? I understand where you are. That was all I needed. I needed someone to know that I was not crazy. I was not mad. I was intact. So, mommy, I'm sure you've gotten something out of that. And then also something you said as well about grief. Everybody grieves differently. Like we all say in WiCare, grief is not a linear. It's not a linear. Everybody grieves differently, including children. As we progress in this workshop, we will learn about love languages, temperaments, the children, and all of that. Then you will begin to understand that when they react in certain ways, it's because of maybe their personality type or their love language or something. And guess what? If you learn this love language thing, you will win them. You have their move button like this. You will win them over very, very easily. Any more questions as we round up? Any more questions? In the absence of any, in the absence of none, would like to bring this session to a beautiful close. Thank you so much, our facilitators. You have been so amazing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for pouring into us. Can you just type in the comment section a God bless you, a thank you, a prayer, to just say, well done, virtue has left you. I pray that you will be replenished abundantly, that the next time you will speak even more powerfully, you will impact more people, that this message, these words that you've planted in our hearts won't just be words. They won't just grow on stones. They will go and they would, they will germinate in us, they will bear fruits, and we will just continue to impact other people. God bless you. God bless you. We are meeting again next week. Next week, Friday, another part. Hey, did you enjoy this one? If you enjoyed this one, just type a yes. Next week, come with somebody. Come with somebody. Don't come alone. If you enjoyed this one, go and bring all your friends, people who you know that they need these sessions. I'm sure somebody's mindset is shifting right now. You know that friend that needs this impactful session. Don't come alone. Drag them. Drag all of them. Drag them. We want to make sure that, at the end of this session, beyond WiCare people, beyond WiCare women, beyond, our close network would impact people. The truth is that when you pour into people, like I always say, men are made in meetings. When you pour into people, it makes your relationship seamless. It makes things easy for you. When you carry a friend, or when you take your children along with you to maybe an impactful session, it starts to seep into their subconscious, and you just find out that things are becoming easier for you. So if you have a difficult relationship with someone, or you don't like the way they are parenting, you don't need to talk too much. Find a way to just cajole them to come for these sessions. So just come join. Okay, I'll buy you data. Don't worry. You will see that by the time, by God's grace, Lagbara along, by the time they leave this session, they will not be the same. I'm telling you, they will not be the same. So thank you so much, and God bless you, and see you next week, Friday. God bless you. Ooh, my mind has been renewed. I love the testimonies. Awesome, 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 awesome. So, our dear facilitators, would you like them to reach out to you? I often like to ask before anyone, before I give out the numbers, would you like them to reach out to you? Do you want them to contact you by email or your phone number, or whichever way? Just let me know. Okay. Uncle Sela says it's fine. Dr. Ifoma, how about you?
Yeah, okay, it's okay.
Okay.
You have
okay. Okay, fantastic. So you see, hey, you have them at your beck and call. Thank you so much. It is signing out from here. Peace out. Bye.